Oh, what comes after 2, guys? Oh, yeah, shit, 1.
Hail, salutations, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the G.N.A podcast. I'm your host, Blue Shark 45, and I totally screwed it up because I should have actually have told you, and it's very important that I explain this now, that G.N.A stands for Games, Nerds, and Alcohol, and this is the podcast where we get drunk and talk about stuff. But we're just going to try to ignore the fact that I screwed up that intro, and we're going to go ahead and move right into who we've got here on the show tonight. So let's go ahead and talk to the wonderful man, Damok. How you doing, Damok?
Oh, I'm still alive. I'm so excited to still be alive. I don't know what else to say. I'm still alive. Yay. Yay. How about you?
I'm doing well, sir. I went outside, and then I pulled in the recycling bin, and I came back inside and went back to work. I've been working in the office, and I've been wearing the mask thing. I got a new mask. It's got the Gadsden flag on one side, and then the yellow starts to tatter, and you get the American flag on the other side.
Oh man, that sounds pretty awesome. Like,
yeah.
I'm 100% telework. I'm not even sure what day it is anymore. Like, I fall out of bed and I open up the laptop. Like, okay, let me log into the VPN. Oh, fuck! It's Sunday. Okay.
Man, that telework shit it fucks with you, man. It took me a good week to get back into a normal, let's get up and actually get moving and get ready, because we got to go into work instead of like, oh fuck, roll out of bed, meeting. All right, I'll go in there and make breakfast. My boss won't know that I'm cooking breakfast instead of working right now.
It's sad the amount of work that I can get done in like 2 hours, and I have to pace it out over 8 hours. And I'm like, damn, we really should telework more. It's so much more work. I'm like, fuck, I want to go back to video games. Let me knock all this work out real quick. Okay, all reports are done. Everything is configured. I'm done. Let's play some Warzone.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. Except I get all the phone calls now. Like everyone's bugging me. This. Oh, Jesus Christ, I can't get anything I need to get done because I'm answering questions. And ladies and gentlemen, we have the one, the only, the shiniest of shiny people, Zyber. How you doing, Zyber?
Hello. So shiny.
I love that bright and, just like vibrant personality you've got, bud. It just brings something to the show.
Oh, I know. It's such a party when I arrive.
Hell yes. How you doing, Zyber?
I'm still reeling from some stuff. Work is work. Play is play. Which I've been playing with Damok a lot, which is great.
Yeah. I hope you never get to that stage where play is work and work is play. Well, work is play might be a good one to be, but when play becomes work, I think you're doing something wrong there.
Yeah, that's why I stopped masturbating.
Oh, very good, sir. Very good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the G.N.A podcast, and if this is your first time, welcome to the shit show. If this isn't your first time, then you know what I'm going to say next. That's right, state of games. I mean, we're going to talk about what everyone's drinking. So let's go ahead and move this right on back to Zyber. Zyber, what are you drinking tonight, sir?
I am drinking apple juice and gin.
Really? What's that called?
Huh?
Is that got a cocktail name to it, or is that just...
It might, but
Okay.
I have no fucking clue what it is, other than being absolutely fucking delicious. The
All right.
juniper and the apple and the cloviness of the gin with the like appley apple of the apple cider is fucking amazing. Holy crap.
It's actually called an apple business.
All right, apple business. All right.
Okay. Now, juniper, is that a very bold taste?
It can be an aggressive flavor.
Okay. Yeah, we had tonics, or I don't forget the heck they were calling it, this restaurant. We were in Tampa and we met up with my sister and my buddy, and Brittany was there with me, of course. And they had these drinks, and you picked a tonic. You can have just a regular tonic or these different flavored ones, and then you mixed in something, whether it be gin. I asked them if they had Tomcat. They didn't, so I just passed right over that. I added
Bar
tequila.
Hill, regardless. Bar Hill. Tomcat is their special reserve, but the Bar Hill standard is basically the same thing, just lighter on that juniper flavor and lighter on that cloviness and licorice taste.
Well, I added juniper to my tequila tonic. I did something else. I can't remember what it is for the life of me, but I remember it being pretty strong. But I wanted to blame the tonic on that one, just because tonic to me is, I don't like the flavor. It's kind of,
Yeah, I don't
like
really
medicine.
like the taste of tonic. It kind of has that dry dirt-ish taste to it. It's definitely better than Vichy water in any kind of drink, but
Vichy?
yeah, tonic, I don't really care for it.
What is Vichy water?
It's like a carbonated liquid, sort of like seltzer, but I think it's with sulfur notes or something like that. I can't quite remember, but yeah, it is horrible tasting stuff.
It does sound horrible. I don't know about you, but I hate the smell of rotten eggs.
Yeah, but I dig the juniper flavor. I mean, Curacao, I believe, has juniper in it.
Maybe. I'd have to go back and look at the bottle. It really doesn't taste like it to me.
Yeah, the citrus notes in Curacao are forward. I think rear note on Curacao is juniper berry.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I think juniper is in it.
You are 100% correct. I drink a lot of blue Curacao or whatever because it goes in those. I mean, where the girlfriend makes them, right? They're just nothing but pure liquor, and she calls them walk me downs because they're like walk me down, sweet Jesus or whatever. Like, wow, dear Lord, man, let me tell you, you drink two of those and you are walked down. But yeah, it is the blue Curacao, juniper berries. Yeah, it's a big time, and in regular Curacao, juniper berries are very prevalent.
Nice. Very nice. So what's that attack on that gin and apple juice, Zyber?
It's candy, absolute candy. That's all I can say. It's like eating a slice of apple pie.
And how much?
And then you get a flash of the juniper and a little bit of clove, and it's quickly gone. The evolution is very fast back to sugar. It starts with sugar, ends with sugar.
Now, how much apple juice to gin? What's your ratio on that?
Well, the listeners won't be able to view, but here's my glass. Where my finger is, where I fill up to the gin.
Okay, so probably like 2 to 3 shots.
I'd probably say about 4.5.
Looks
Okay.
like a typical pint glass, so I'm going to say
Yeah.
about a third is going to be liquor, 2/3 are going to be your apple juice.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you using like juicy juice?
Apple.
Or
No,
using...
no, no. This is fresh apple cider.
Nice. Okay. So you've got cinnamon in there too, like with the cider. Taste.
There's no cinnamon in this cider.
Okay. Nice. All right. Well, that sounds like a tasty
It's very
fall-like
tasty.
beverage.
I might try one warm. Sort of a hot toddy-ish kind of thing, but not whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing like warm cider. Spiked warm cider.
Oh, yeah.
Nice cool breeze.
Well, it is going to be 40 degrees in this northeastern territory.
I fucking hate you. It's, what is it right now? Oh, we're looking at, I think it was like, yeah, it was 80 something degrees earlier, like 85. And not that like, not like that brisk, no humidity 85. No, it's the hot, sweaty humidity 85 degrees. Screw you. I went to Tennessee over my Labor Day weekend, and I'm missing that nice, cool mountain air.
Oh, yeah. It's 59 now. By the time we get done with the show, it's going to be around 50. Probably about 2 in the morning. It's going to be in the 40s. Carry through to the morning.
Well, at least I can still go to the beach until late October, November.
Yeah, but do you
All
really
right.
want to go to the beach at this point in time?
I usually don't. Usually. But you know,
right,
never
Damok,
hurts.
what are you drinking?
Oh, Damark is being a snobby asshole tonight. I'm drinking a very nice Cabernet Sauvignon, right? It's not very nice. It's actually really, really fucking good, but it is a Lidl exclusive. So go to your Lidl and pick up Quarter Cut. This shit is amazing. It is a California Cabernet Sauvignon, right? It is a bourbon barrel aged wine.
Okay.
So it's got a very, if you ever had a Sauvignon, it's got that punchy taste in the beginning and then it smooths out, and it's got a very like, wow, I just took the aftertaste shot of whiskey towards the end for that bourbon barrel age. It's really good, and I've been the only one drinking it. That's so
you maybe got a glass left in there, if that.
So I got about a glass left, and yeah, I mean, whenever I go, and it's real weird, it's only sold at Lidl grocery stores. It's like an Lidl exclusive, and somebody turned me on to it, about a year ago, and I put it off, and I picked up a couple bottles several months back. I was like, wow, that's amazing, but I just never get out to a Lidl.
All right, I got to ask.
Yep.
Is the bourbon taste to it anything like the brews that we've gotten over the years that are bourbon barrel aged? Like the stouts?
Yes and no. So it depends on which stout we are talking about. If we are talking about the Dogfish Head Worldwide Stout, where it's got this wonderful upfront like craft beer flavor and then that really smooth bourbon taste after, absolutely. This has that wonderful red wine punch, and as you swallow, it's good, and then it smooths out to a like, ooh, did I take a light shot of whiskey in there? It's really good compared to
How does
that.
it compare to the Founders?
Founders, I found to be much more in-your-face bourbon flavored across the board, right? You take the sip and yeah, the initial taste is like, ooh, and then as you're swallowing, you're like, wow, that is very bourbony, and then it smoothed out, but it still had a seriously lingering bourbon taste, like you had taken a shot of bourbon mixed with beer. I mean, personally, that's what I found for it. So if you like wine, if you like bourbon aged beers that have that slight hint of taste at the very end, I absolutely recommend this wine.
Now, does that have that leather kind of feel, taste to it? Or is that completely muted in the cab?
So
Like tannin?
Yeah, like it feels like your tongue gets a little like dry. It feels like you just like kind of like licked a little piece of leather.
So I get that when I drink red wines anyways.
Okay.
Right. So, but I mean, here I am about to finish off a bottle of this. So, yeah, I do have that leathery tongue type deal now, but the taste of it, no, you don't notice it until you're like, oh shit, dude, I have one glass left of this. Like, yeah. And honestly, if you didn't mention it, I really wouldn't be paying attention to it. It's like, yeah, okay, this is really good. Now, I do feel like after I drink this, I'm going to have a couple glasses of water to try and rehydrate my tongue. But, I mean, it is what it is. You're drinking a red wine, which does that to me naturally, with a little bit of the bourbon taste in there, which also does that to my tongue as well. But it's not like I've been sitting here drinking a couple glasses of bourbon or a really good couple glasses of scotch, and you're like, wow, my tongue is just fucked. It's real light.
Well, very good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the G.N.A. podcast, and we try to give you insightful knowledge about these things. You got to know, is that leather?
Oh,
and we
man.
got to know, Blue, what are you drinking?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm enjoying one of my second favorite New Belgian brewery beers. My first is Fat Tire.
1985.
No. This is the Voodoo Ranger, but it's specifically the Voodoo Ranger Juicy Haze IPA. Never been a huge fan of IPAs.
That's a solid one.
From beginning of my stint here on the show, I've tried a few different ones. I remember I accidentally picked up a Voodoo Ranger thinking it was Juicy Haze, but it was actually just the regular one. I don't like it too much, but I love Juicy Haze because it is a cloudy IPA with a nice muted IPA bitter taste. You get, let's take a drink here. So, I know I'm drinking an IPA because it still has that slight note at the back of the tongue, right towards the end, of bitter, but begins with a nice, smooth, citrus kind of flavor. Maybe that's what makes it the haze.
I always felt that Juicy Haze started off orange juice and finished grapefruit.
Yes, and kind of like real grapefruit juice, not like grapefruit beer or grapefruit liquor where it's all sweetened. It has that bitter note to it.
Wait,
it's not.
That's what fucking juicy IPAs taste like? Like orange juice and it ends in like a real grapefruit taste?
Kind of.
I'm going to the store. Fuck. I love grapefruit.
I wouldn't say it ends like full grapefruit juice. Because I know what I don't like about grapefruit is it's bitter. It's very, very bitter fruit. So the grapefruit beers, like Hefeweizens or grapefruit like Moonshine, that stuff's good because it's sweet.
I never got grapefruit from Hefeweizen.
Never?
No, I got more banana bread flavor.
Well, they have them. I forget who makes it. It's like SCH. It's the O with the double dot above it. Schaff or something.
Or like, if not banana bread, like toasted oats kind of flavor with Hefeweizen. Like,
are you talking like Like just a regular Hefeweizen has
Yeah.
that kind of... Okay, I'm actually talking about a Hefeweizen that's got grapefruit in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know
found
they
that
did
one.
that kind of stuff.
They do.
Yeah, Schofferhofer.
That's it.
Sthoffferhofer. Yeah, I could never fucking say that right.
Yes.
But yeah, it's got the two I's above the O. Yep.
Yeah. My buddy Ish really likes that one. It's good. It's good stuff. But yeah, this has a slight bitter taste to it. At the end, kind of like what you would get from grapefruit juice, or what I think is really coming in from the hops.
Yeah.
But it's New Belgian Brewery. If you've never had any of their stuff, I do recommend it. Fat Tire is a good beer to start with. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I can't remember if it's a lager or an ale. I want to say it's an ale. They apparently now make a Hefeweizen that I have yet to try. And I was tempted to actually buy that, but I kind of wanted... this was going to go to my buddies for the road trip, but, well, I forgot it in the fridge. So I'm enjoying it now.
Lies. It's all lies, just like his name. He wanted to keep it for himself.
But I just finished my first one here while we were getting settled. I do recommend it.
I gotta say, if you like that, if you find yourself in the vicinity of the 1985, try that.
Okay. Is the 1985 an IPA?
Yes, it is an IPA. It has a similar flavor and texture, but a little less of that grapefruit at the end.
Okay. New Belgian Voodoo 1985.
Voodoo Ranger 1985.
Okay.
Anytime you say that, dude, that's Bowling for Soup 1985 song, man.
We're going to have to look into that one for our next trip to the liquor store.
I need to go to the liquor store, man. It's I got actually some really good scotches, but yeah, I'm trying to hold off on drinking those. I got some good cigars to go with them. I gotta find a spot to sit down.
All right, nice. Very, very 80s retro. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Games, Nerds, and Alcohol. And we need to talk about some games. Damok, what have you been playing for the last week, or what can you tell us about your state of games?
Well, I've been watching a lot of games because NVIDIA's big announcement with the new 3000 series cards.
I didn't say watch.
I
said
know.
play.
I know.
Come
No,
on.
we get to
Come on.
pontificate. Cecil says pontificate. I am pontificating. I don't even know what pontificate means, but we're going to pontificate here. So I've been watching a lot of games and getting really excited. However, personally, I have reinstalled Pathfinder Kingmaker, and I've been rediscovering that game now that they have gone through so many patches and fixed so many of the bugs. I'm so excited to play it. I know the new expansion is due out relatively soon, and I bought that like super crazy deluxe edition on Kickstarter way back when it started.
Yeah, on Pathfinder Kingmaker, I have to restart the whole game because my files for that game are still bugged on the cloud save.
Mine
So
are too. Absolutely. I had to I was like, screw it, I'm going to start from the beginning anyways. I'm going to try and play with some of these new DLC classes because, I bought that deluxe edition, so I have every DLC. So I'm trying something now new with it, and I'm really excited to play it. That game is fantastic. Other than that, I don't know if I can say that I've been playing Warzone. I know that I've been like a participant who follows Ko around while he slaughters people in Warzone with his natural
that nail
aim
on the head
ability.
right there.
Right? Like me and Zyber, we've been playing it. We've been running together, but we kind of run 20 feet behind Ko and just let him slaughter everything for us, and then we try and take the victory. And then the only way that Ko loses because there's an actual aimbotter.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. He's so quick in that game. It's like, dude, call where you're going. You're like a mile away, and you didn't even say anything.
I hate playing with people like that. It's like I feel so naked in a game like that. It's such a huge map. I feel like you got to stick together, or at least I need to, because otherwise I'm just gonna get shot first and die.
Though I do like how I'm a very good spotter for him because I get hit and he sees where I get hit from. Even though I get knocked, he knocks. So win-win. It's making me get better at my gulag. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, yeah, that's right. And I do like that feature. It's like second chance to get your
Exactly.
butt back in the game. All right. Well, is that it for you, Daymok?
Yeah, a little bit of Pathfinder Kingmaker, which if you've never played and you actually like D&D type games, or you like Pathfinder, because D&D lost its way to a certain extent with customization, then Pathfinder is definitely the way to go. If you don't have time or a dedicated group to play it pen and paper like you truly should, Pathfinder Kingmaker is phenomenal across the board. I highly recommend it. I love playing it. It's been great. Warzone is Warzone. It's free. It's full of cheaters. It's still fun. It's just frustrating because it's full of cheaters, but still fun. And then I don't do anything else, dude. I pretend to work and I play a lot of Warzone when everybody's awake, and then I play Pathfinder in secret because it's my nerd itch.
Like you need to be secret about your nerd itch in that household. All right, Zyber, what's your state of games?
Well, we already mentioned COD, so I'm not going to go there any deeper than thank you, Co, for being my Sherpa. Other than that, I've been playing Kingdom of what is it, Emilar, Re-Reckoning. Like
I gotta ask.
Yeah. It's
play the
WoW
original?
solo.
Did you play the original?
Yeah, I played the original way back in the day.
Okay. I wanted to make sure that you have played the original, because the remake is amazing, but
Yeah.
I wanted to see if you played the original.
I've been playing Catherine a little bit here and there, a lot of Lost Castle, and I am trying to replay my ending for Hellblade. That's about it.
Very nice. So, do you play Hellblade with or without headphones?
With the headphones, in absolute darkness.
That's just creepy. Well, gentlemen, I actually got to play video games.
Excellent.
Bullshit. Call him bullshit. He's gonna come up and say something stupid. Just watch. I'm waiting for it.
It's an 8-hour drive to Tennessee, so I actually got some gaming in. I played a little bit of Pokemon Go while I was out there, but I did play on the Switch. Played a game my buddy wanted me to get, and I actually thought was kind of interesting. It's called Wargroove. It's a turn-based.
Okay, yeah, I have Wargroove.
So I've got that. I just got through the tutorial. I did a little bit of Pokemon Sword. And then I played for the first time ever Sid Meier's Civilization. Specifically,
nice.
Civ 6. Yes, I've never played that. Never been really interested in these types of games. I think the first time I played a game like this was in middle school. I borrowed a copy of... Well, I had gone to a game store and I saw something cool. And I saw StarCraft. I was like, oh, I've heard of StarCraft. A lot of people talk about this, and I looked at StarCraft Brood Wars, and I was like, oh, well, this is interesting. This looks something like I might want to play. I'll give a PC game a try. I bought it. Congratulations. You bought a game. No, you didn't buy a game. You bought an expansion, and you need the base game, and you don't have it. Luckily, I had a buddy, and I was talking to him about it. I was like, yeah, I bought this thing, and I can't play it. And he's like, oh, I'll just loan you my copy of StarCraft. So I borrowed it from him, and I played it. And I actually beat it, and I beat Brood Wars, and I enjoyed it. It was interesting. It's a way to pass time. Wasn't anything too complex, strategy. I never did anything competitive with it. I never competed against anyone, but I enjoyed the campaign. I kind of enjoyed the story and how they represented it. So that was my first RTS experience, really.
You mentioned Sid Meier.
Yeah.
My first game from him was Sid Meier's Pirates.
Oh,
that was my first. And then I found Civ. Pirates was fun. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, this one's interesting. I like the technology advancements you can make. You
fucking
can
India, dude.
Yeah, you can choose different government styles. We didn't get too far. So what we did was my buddy booted it up on his Switch, and he was player 1, I was player 2, and we had another guy be player 3. We never came across each other. God, what did we get to? I think we got to turn 40, maybe?
Okay.
We had no idea what we were doing. We watched a YouTube video to try to figure out how to play this game. And he literally did his turn, then he passed it off to me, and then I passed it off to my buddy and just went in a circle. Fucking barbarians. That's all I gotta say. Just damn it to hell. Like, my town needs to be expanded. I know they're gonna get a bitch about this. The barbarians takes my builders, and then the next thing I know, 3 or 4 turns come by, and they're like, your townspeople are going to either rebel or they're going to get really pissed off at you because they need more room. It's like, well, fucking barbarians. I need time to build another builder. And I really should have paid 80 gold at the time for army that would have lasted me 15 turns. But I was like, nah. And then it just kept on going up. Turn after turn. It's like, well, fuck. I'm screwed.
That'll happen.
Well, yeah, barbarians came over and I had to buy something and I bought it. And then I was down so far in gold and I just couldn't pay for the army because they were at 100. They went up to 100. And I was just like, oh, that's too far out of my reach. And they were like some neighboring civilization. But yeah, we never finished the game because we made it back here. It was an interesting game. I'll probably fiddle with it when I get a lazy day, but there's just so many games I need to finish. So many, like Pokemon and Zelda Breath of the Wild. Oh, good Lord. I need to find time to game again, but #almost married life, yo.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that stream, dude.
Yeah, man, it's just a whole shitty situation. And funny story, so...
Yeah, also, I just want to say, I really hope that you can get the reception streaming, too.
Yeah, we're going to see what we can do. I don't really know what they've got, but we'll at least have that part, the ceremony. But funny story is, we were actually at the reception hall, since we were going to be in the area already for the... Unfortunately, Brittany's aunt had passed away, and there was a ceremony down in Tampa Bay. So we were in the area, so we went to the reception hall, and we did the tasting. And my mother texted me, and she wanted to talk. And I was like, well, we're driving back tonight. She's like, oh, well, then we'll just can wait another day. It's something about the wedding. And I said, all right, sure. And I turned to Britt, and I said, wouldn't it be funny And she's wanting to talk to me because one of my aunts has now changed her mind about wanting to come to the wedding. And it's like we have the guest list set, like from a couple weeks ago. The invitations are being made, and we asked all of her sisters, and they're like, no, we don't feel safe because of COVID. And I was like, yeah, I understand. That's fine. And now we got to go back to that whole game of, well, who are we going to have to cut? And it's a shitty-ass game that no one wants to play. And this whole COVID situation has made everything fucking awkward. I had to cut Zyber and I had to cut Cecil from this thing. I've had to cut other family members, and it's just been this whole, like,
Oh, you said other family members after saying us. That makes me feel really special. Thank you, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's just... You're welcome, but I just fucking hate the situation. I really do.
No, I understand. Erica and I went through the same thing when we were planning our wedding back in 2014. Yeah, it was freaking ridiculous because, well, we could only afford so much food and so many people at the venue. Well, sorry if you can't come. I mean... It's not that we don't want you there. It's just we gotta cut someone.
Yeah. Well, the venue is being the real bitch. They're like, yeah, you can only have so many people because COVID.
Right.
Yeah. Fucking A. You were going to say something, Daymok?
I mean, you guys have definitely shifted focus off of what I was going to say, but... You were just like, damn barbarians. That's 8-year-old Daymok playing Civilization going, this game is great. Fucking barbarians are ravaging everything. Yep. And then Civilization 2 came out, dude. I was 13. It was like, fucking barbarians. Me and my neighbor. My neighbor John, me and him, we played this shit out of Civilization. My computer wasn't even good enough to run it. I had to go to his house and play for hours. We said, I got to turn 40. That game goes to like turn 6,000. Like, I don't know what you were thinking. Like, I mean, I got a decent way to the game. That game takes months to complete if you're playing it on a good difficulty.
Yeah, we were trying to play. We played on a small map. I don't know what he set for the term limit for the lifespan of it, but I remember seeing the opening. Or you can go to space. So we're going to go from a biblical, like, BC... I want to say biblical times because this isn't caveman era kind of crap. Like, they had clothing, they had, like, fabric, they had, like... you started off somewhere in either, like, just before AD, or like, you count backwards on this shit. Late BC, early BC, I don't know, point of view, right before AD, from the Stone Age. Well, I don't know.
They say a lot. They say a lot, honestly. The game's got to represent itself in a way that sells across the board because I believe it's E for everyone, right?
Yeah,
I mean, Zyber's holding the game case, so you can't have like, the Stone Age, we're already fucking butt naked and having a good time. But no,
plus 10.
Yeah, okay, so 10 and up. So yeah, there still can't be nudity. They're going to show different things. They say Stone Age. It's not Stone Age. We're all aware because it is what it is. It's still a Civilization game. It's still a lot of fun. I don't know about the newest one, which is 6 that you're playing. I hope it's 6 is the newest one. Holy crap, dude. I lost count. Like, 4 was the last one that I played. And it was still good. It's different now, but it was still good.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
The last one I played was Planetfall.
Planetfall?
Which one is that one? 7?
It takes place, you planet jump.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
you can play as like an alien race or a human race, and yeah, it's weird.
I mean, Sid Meier, it's Sid Meier, right? Or is it Sid Meier?
Myers.
Yeah, so Sid Meier's, all that. I mean, my absolute favorite game from them had to have been Sim Golf. I loved making the golf courses and just having a wonderful time with that. But it looks like everything else that they did was all pretty much Civilization. They did after the early 2000s, they went hardcore into the Civilization games. A couple of this Ace Patrol stuff, but didn't last very long. They have Civilization Revolution 2, Civilization Beyond Earth, Civilization 6 is the newest one. Yeah, I mean, that was their bread and butter. But if you ever get a chance to play that old Sim Golf, that was a fun game.
Nice. Well, we don't want to make Cecil upset. That's the goal of this show, ladies and gentlemen. We never want Cecil to be upset, so we can't let State of Games run any longer, even though I've broken the cardinal rule that was supposed to be like 2 minutes each. But you know what? Screw it, man. We're here to have fun, right?
Well, I mean, wait a minute. Isn't this games, nerds, and alcohol? We've all been consuming a little bit of alcohol, and we're talking about games, right?
Yeah,
Right,
so-
we're filling the criteria. As a host,
Yeah.
I'd like to say we're filling the criteria.
Yeah, I think so too. But you know what, guys? Bad news sucks. It really is. And, sometimes things happen, accidents, things break, and, you feel like you're doomed. You really do. But this is a different type of doomed. You never thought you'd be playing. You never thought you'd be dealing with this type of doom.
Wait, doomed as in like you forgot to pull out doomed?
Yeah, that kind of doomed. But this is just a little bit different because, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached that time where civilization is really at the pinnacle, but we're still doing kind of silly stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can now play Doom on a pregnancy test. Who had that on their bingo card for this year? Because I didn't.
Well, I did have, if you pee on a cartridge of Doom, you will find out if you're pregnant or not.
Oh,
So-
really? Well,
I lost
alright.
that bet.
So apparently, the two of you and maybe the three listeners that you have that are the other members of the podcast, right? Don't follow. Does it play Doom? And
no.
okay, so there's a whole bunch of this. I discovered the article after I had been looking up because there's a whole really big Reddit thread on, does it play Doom? And I mean, they go into everything. You got to be careful if you're reading the article because at first it says that they watched a clip of Doom being played, but can you play Doom on the pregnancy test? And sure enough, if you hook up a keyboard and all that, there is a specific pregnancy test that you can actually play it. Now, in terms of playing it, if you watch the video of them playing it, is relatively sketchy because it can only draw so many pixels. But technically, it's there, and you can
Well,
play
that
it.
makes me think back to when they were working on 3D worlds for Doom and the genre in itself, and they tried to get it to work on a Game Boy. So, yeah, there's that. That's what it makes me think of.
Well, like Damok talks about it, like you could play it. It's not the greatest though, because the pixels. So it's a pregnancy test, and Foon Turning, who's a California-based programmer, he made a playable, or he has made 1993's Doom playable on a pregnancy test. And looking at it, you can only kind of see there's definitely the colors limiting, so you have kind of like these bluish pixels, black background. The screen's not very big, but you can play it. It's not going to be the cleanest version. of Doom that you've ever played?
You can play it. That's the biggest thing. You can play it, and it's using its own internal memory. It's not using an external memory card or anything like that to run it. Pregnancy tests at this part in our advancements of technology are so fucking advanced that you can load a computer game onto them. Highly modified computer game, but you can load a computer game onto them and you can play them on a P-stick.
All right, ladies, just go ahead, squat over a Commodore 64 or a T80, piss on it, it'll let you know if you're pregnant.
Oh, okay. So here we go. It's important to note that Foon did replace the display and microcontrollers so that the only part of the original tester is the shell. However, getting Doom running and playable on a 128 by 32 pixel monochrome display at 1 bpp is still an impressive feat, according to IGN's article. Oh, fuck. Sorry, we'll do that next. But yeah, anyone else got anything else to add to this?
Negative.
I mean, all right.
Positive for Doom, but negative.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I meant to have a serious note about this. This podcast is recorded in America, and I'm pretty sure I speak for everyone who's usually on this show every week, and not necessarily every guest, because we've had people from different countries, but everyone who's usually on this show is pretty damn proud about that we're American. And today is a very, very it's one of those days that if you were alive when it happened,
rings in infamy.
Yeah. And you remember where you were. Like, you asked someone who fought in World War II, and you asked them, where were you December 6th? And they could tell you where they were and what they were doing. Well, today is Friday, September 11th, 2020. 19 years prior, our worlds were shook. And I remember where I was. I remember I was in school. I was in 6th grade. And I just want to say, in times like this, remember, for those of you who were there, remember how we were shocked, how some of us lost people that day, and how we all came together. And I'd have to say, that's a pretty damn powerful, positive message. That when the shit hit the fan, when people came knocking on our door and took people from us and took a swing at us, I forget the name of the country guy, gave us a bit. Look, as soon as we could see through a big black eye, we stuck a boot in your ass. But we came together that day. There were people who ran into danger. And I'd just like to say, to those people who ran into danger, to those people who stood tall afterwards, thank you. And God bless.
Prost. Slancha.
Slancha. All right. Moving on to less serious things. Pringles. Once you pop, the fun don't stop, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Pringles is debuting new Rick and Morty inspired flavors. And limited edition flavors will be sold at Walmart, which means I will never buy them. I have this whole weird thing with Walmart. They have shitty customer service, and they pissed me off one too many times, and I never went back.
Wait, customer service? They have customer service? They have shitty customers. Absolutely, man. If you're trying to get a prostitute at 4 o'clock in the morning, Walmart's where you go no matter where you're at in the United States. You get a 4 a.m. prostitute at Walmart.
I guess so.
You could get a 3 a.m. prostitute as well. And a
Dude,
2 a.m. glory hole.
You can get the 10 a.m. drunk, man. We'll be good. It's all there. It's Walmart. They got everything.
They do, and they also have people who are just... I mean, all I got was the dirty fucking look, and I got attitude from their employees. But anyway, moving on. Pringles is aiming to recapture the insanity that the brand's first introduced in its 2020 Super Bowl commercial by recreating Rick and Morty for yet another promotion. This week, Pringles announced 2 new flavors inspired by the Adult Swim series, exclusively, available at Walmart. Honey Mustard Morty and Look at Me, I'm Cheddar and Sour Cream. They also have Pickle Rick flavor, which was previously available. I did not know that. I don't know. Have any of y'all tried any of these Pringles?
Negative. I saw it earlier today and I laughed my ass off.
Not
And like the little thing of like stack all 3 together. Dude, that must be the grossest thing ever.
Yeah. I don't know.
Pickle, mustard, and fucking cheddar and sour cream. Ew.
Yeah. I mean, honey mustard, the Snyder's pretzel pieces, that stuff was good.
Oh, yeah.
I liked sour cream. I liked their cheddar Pringles. Barbecue's mesquite. That was my number 1 favorite Pringles chips.
Same.
But, it could be good. But yeah, I don't know, stack a few of those together. That's going to be a weird freaking combo. Rick and Morty sandwich stack.
I can't do it. I mean, but I'm not I don't eat a lot of chips to begin with. I'm a fat guy because I drink. Right? I'm not a fat guy because I eat a lot of junk food. Because I really don't. Yeah, chips are not my thing. Pringles, dude, they seem to be more greasy than any other chip that I've ever had. Like,
really?
Yeah, they are just like it absorbs in your hand. If you take a napkin and you wipe your hand on the napkin after eating a couple of chips, it is by far the most greasy chip that I've eaten. But I don't eat a lot of potato chips, so it is what it is. I eat if it's chips and salsa, I will eat corn chips with salsa, but I like unsalted corn chips, just, all natural, so I can just dip in my salsa. I don't like the scoops and all of that are salted.
Really? Because I remember, like, the original Pringles, and they didn't make as much of a greasy mess as, like, Lay's did. Lay's, I felt, was greasier.
Agreed. At the time, I thought that Lay's was greasier, and what was it? Once you pop, the fun don't stop, and sticky not fun, or whatever was their commercial. And they used to show the people wiping their hands with the other potato chips, and they'd wipe them with Pringles. And the Pringles, though, what it did is the advertisement was just those chips, the little crumbs would wipe off your fingers and on your clothes. They'd fall off your clothes. Your fingers were still greasy as shit after eating them. I really didn't think that they were less greasy. Now, maybe compared to Lay's at the time, but even Doritos were less greasy than Pringles. Now, it's like when you eat Doritos, you're going to eat Doritos nachos, and you're going to get the yellow shit. Chips in general are going to give you something, except for, just restaurant-style corn chips with some salsa.
Well, baked chips also. Baked chips. I love baked chips.
Now,
they're not greasy as
aren't they good for
all
you?
The rest. What?
Well, not good for you, but aren't they better for you than potato chips?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes, because they're not drowned in the oil, so they're not soaking up all of that fat. Which certain oils are better for you. Well, actually, I think you just need to fry everything in bacon fat. think that's actually the healthier version of everything, or butter.
Yeah, you have to fry everything in bacon fat.
But yeah, I do air fried. I spray them with a little bit of olive oil and just season them, and then throw them in the air fryer. Or you can bake. I used to bake when I had a hankering for chips. I always used to have red skin potatoes on hand, so I'd peel those and slice them up, and then I'd make my own chips in the oven.
Do the same thing. I'll break out the mandolin, slice them all out so that they're uniform, pop them in the oven with a little salt and pepper on them, and light brushing of olive oil or something, and good to go.
Anybody like salt and vinegar chips?
Partial.
Yeah. No, I'll eat salt and vinegar chips.
Yeah. They're a pain in the ass to make because you got to like soak them for hours in like vinegar. Learned that the hard way. All right. Daymok, what can you tell us about NVIDIA's GeForce RTX 3080 synthetic, or yeah, whatever, their next graphics card?
What can I tell you about their graphics card? Or what can I tell you about their performance leaks?
Performance leaks. Let's go with that one.
Okay. I don't know. I have not read anything about their performance leaks at all. I knew when they announced it. I know what they have said. I've seen a couple little things about, hey, this is what the card is doing. I will not actually judge the card itself until it is in the consumer hands. I don't care about the special releases that they sent out to YouTube reviewers. I don't care about the Twitch streamers. I don't care about any of them. They can get fucked. I got it that they're trying to get their subs and their clicks and all of that, and that's fine, and I hope that they do good, but those people are getting cards before anybody else. Those people are getting cards that are tuned directly from the manufacturer to send it to them. I want to see real world performance benchmarks from independent people. Like, none of us here are sponsored by anybody. And if one of us were to buy the card and run a bunch of benchmarks, then hell yeah, I believe everything that one of us has said, or somebody else that's like, hey, you know what? It's a week past when the cards came out. I got mine. I'm doing it. Here's what I got. And other people are coming out going, no. You've already screwed up. You can get better FPS this way. I don't read synthetic benchmarks. I don't read the people that got the cards early. I believe there was a good a good video posted by Jay's 2 cents by Co in the video, and it was like, hey, here's the 3070 and the performance and 3080 performance. I got my hands on the card early. Be like, yeah, dude, you got your hands on the card a month before anybody else can. You got a production card that was tweaked by the manufacturer, and then yeah. We'll see. I'm going to wait for people to come out and show me because not everybody's running the latest hardware, right? I have a 6700K. I want to see the guy that's running a 6700K with 32 gigs RAM like I am and pushing it with a 4 gigs overclock and see how everything works. I want to know then. So I don't read the virtual stuff. I don't pay attention to the virtual stuff. I'm waiting for it. I want to talk about it so bad, and I want to be all hyped for it, but I'm not, because I don't think that NVIDIA won this round. I really think AMD is going to pull a fucking unicorn out of this and stomp NVIDIA.
I think that's a horrible, horrible reference, because unicorns aren't fucking real. Let's just face it. I think.
I mean, you're looking at a unicorn graphics card launch.
All right.
No.
Mythic.
Well, it is mythic, right? Not since 2004 has the lowest grade graphics card been on par or slightly better than the last generation's highest end graphics card. It is a unicorn launch across the board. It is a mythical fucking massive slap to the 2080 Ti owners. and all of that. I mean, you're looking at a 3070, $499 graphics card MSRP that is beating a $1,200 graphics card. And if you thought you were buying it for $1,200, get fucked, dude, because everybody was jacking up the prices of the 2080 Ti. It was not. I couldn't find one for even close to $1,200. But it is what it is. It's a unicorn launch from NVIDIA. But to me, that says NVIDIA is scared after AMD has been doing a tweet battle with them, like poking at them, telling them, NVIDIA, yeah, you think you got it, you think you got it, you think you got it. Wait for Big Navi. That's going to crush you. And I'm excited for that. But synthetic benchmarks, I know that's what the article's about. I don't pay attention to them. They're not worth my time. I want to see real world performance. I want to see real world benchmarks. I want to see somebody who's like me and you, that we're not sponsored. I don't have a $50,000 computer set up and a $20,000 streamer set up, to top it off. I don't have any of that stuff. I got my computer that I like to spend money on it, but I need better parts at some point in time.
I don't even know what the hell I'm doing with half of this stuff. I just buy the computers and run off of y'all's recommendations. Like, I got a laptop here. It's got an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 graphics card in it. And this one's probably like it's about 3 years old, because I got it about the time the podcast started taking over for that. But I get what you're saying. You want it to be like the field test. You want to actually like take the thing, throw it in the mud, and pick it up and see if it still shoots.
Yeah, absolutely. If I can shoot it when it's wet, if I can shoot it when it's sandy, if I can shoot it when it's dirty, we're good to fucking go. But if I can't shoot it when it's all those things, then it's fucking worthless.
Yep. That's right. Thoughts, Cyber?
Well, I have no thoughts on it. I haven't really been following the new graphics card all that much. I'm still waiting to see what comes from Camp AMD on their battle forward on this.
I mean, yes, we're still waiting to see what AMD does, but since the 3000 series is here, and it has launched, we get the cards later on this month. We get the cards this month. So honestly, give it a couple more weeks and we will see real world benchmarks across the board, because they're going to try and launch it strong. And then the argument that we can, I don't know, I don't want to derail the entire conversation, but it's the argument of who is NVIDIA fighting? Are they actually fighting AMD's PC GPU? Or is NVIDIA fighting who's already actually won the war, which would be AMD, in not only the processor segment, because Intel is massively playing catch up, but AMD powers what? The PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X? And NVIDIA is trying to get the money out of people now for the PC gaming experience before the consoles hit the market to suck everybody's fucking penny out? Yeah, I mean that, and then after all of that, you're going to get the Big Navi graphics card. That AMD is like, if you're following them on Twitter, they're really taking shots at NVIDIA. Like
they're firing across their bow, left and right, picking on them and everything.
Oh yeah, they're saying that the 3000 series ain't shit for the most part. Now they haven't said that directly in words, but the way they're picking on him, they're like, yeah, you think your 3000 series performance is good? Wait for Big Navi, which is, that's some big words for AMD. But however, AMD's come back. They've crushed Intel. Now they own.
And Navi, they're talking about 3 DIMMs with that, aren't they?
They're talking. So you know what? I'm going to wait until their announcement, because I believe it's in next month. So they're going to be
October.
Yeah, they're going to be a little behind NVIDIA, but I honestly believe that's NVIDIA trying to jump the gun and get their product out before the consoles come out, which are 100% powered by AMD, and B, before AMD can launch its Big Navi competitor, which could potentially crush NVIDIA across the board. And we're going to see Intel come out soon, but Intel is saying something about a 2021 release date for their integrated, or they're not integrated, but their new graphics series card. So I think NVIDIA is trying to jump the gun because they've had two very, very poor quarters. If you're paying attention, they posted massive losses. The 2000 series graphics cards, as much as everybody talked about them, they're not adopted at all whatsoever. They are the worst graphics card that NVIDIA has ever made in terms of sales. No one purchased them. The 1080 Ti was just as good as the 2080 Ti performance-wise, except you got RTX on, and no one used RTX because it was a massive fucking performance hit across the board. You weren't using ray tracing for the most part. Games were not supporting ray tracing for the most part. They were patching, and I'm using finger quotes for the people who can't see me, they were patching in ray tracing abilities to games. They were not true ray tracing games. Now you're starting to see games that are going to utilize ray tracing because that's where the future of gaming is going, because it looks gorgeous. Shit performance right now looks gorgeous. Now you're going to see them, hey, the 3070 is the shittier card that we have for $500 and it outperforms a, $1,200 card. Yeah, they're scared. And it doesn't matter what they're scared of. If they're scared of AMD launching a PC graphics card or they're scared of the new consoles coming up, AMD already owns the new consoles. Either way, NVIDIA is now scared of AMD, and NVIDIA is now in the game of we need to reduce prices and do quality upgrades, which makes me excited as a consumer. Right? And you guys should be too, and everybody should be, because we have the chance to really, really benefit from this. Whether you're Team Green or Team Red or at this point Team Blue with the Intel coming out with their stuff. I'm excited for that. Don't care about synthetic benchmarks. Get fucked. Let's see the real world performance. Let's go from here. I want to see somebody running 60 FPS 8K like they've advertised. Until then, I don't know. I got to see somebody doing it with a PC like mine to believe it.
I can respect that. We shall see. All right. Well, let's get into our last article of the night. 22 years later, and this comes from PC Gamer. 22 years later, Half-Life's influence is still being felt. The shooter that redefined a genre. As y'all know, still haven't played Half-Life. Still haven't gotten into it. There are many people in this who have been on this show who have played Half-Life, know more about this game, love this game, have so many memories of this game. And I never got into it, even when it came out console, like in like some sort of like bundled set.
The orange box.
That's it, the orange box. But so I recently spoke with Vincent Adolfinolfi, whatever the hell his name is. Apologize for that. An indie designer working on a game called Heartworm. It's a low poly 3D survival horror. So when he brought up influences like Silent Hill, Resident Evil, and even Dino Crisis, that was to be expected. But when he mentioned Valve's classic 1998 FPS, I've tried to take cues from games like Half-Life in a way that Valve uses the environment to design naturally develop the narrative, he says. It's not the first time I've heard developers name check Half-Life while making games very different to it. Its effect on the way games tell story transcends genres, which is surprising given how few other 1990 shooters even had stories. Which is really true. John Carmack of id famously said, stories are as irrelevant to games as they are to porn, which explains Quake. Yeah. Sure, adventure games and RPGs might need plots, but what does an FPS have to gain? Which is bullshit, in my opinion, because it has everything to fucking gain.
No, keep reading, because you stopped without reading.
All right, sure, adventure games and RPGs might need plots, but what does an FPS have to gain? When Half-Life proved even a game about shooting zombies could be improved with a memorable story, it made the point for everyone. And it did without cutscenes or a single paragraph of text. Mainly, it did it through Black Mesa. What the hell is Black Mesa?
Black Mesa is the Black Mesa research facility located in, is it New Mexico, Arizona? Or is it Arizona, New Mexico area? It's over there. I don't remember directly off. I thought it was Black Mesa, New Mexico. It's the basis for the game. You're in the Black Mesa research facility, and everything goes wrong from there. And you have the goddamn Resonance Cascade, right? And then it sets everything off from there. I drank like a whole bottle of goddamn wine. Great game.
So, Half-Life's writer Mark Laidlaw once explained in a blog that Half-Life was initially planned to be a non-linear game.
It
all
is.
changed.
Hold on. Black Mesa is New Mexico, Colorado, and Oklahoma.
Okay. That all changed because he has put, as he put it, all narrative forms of drama, especially horror, rely on pacing and rhythm, and horror timing is crucial. Yes, it is. You have to set up your traps just so and wait until your victim is precisely positioned. While previous shooters had elements of horror, Doom had a chainsaw and a shotgun because id were fans of Evil Dead 2. The games were never horror themselves. They were action and Halloween close. Yeah, Doom has never been scary to me. Because the main basis of horror, and I know I'm sidetracking, like you see in a lot of the movies, is it never dies, you're weak, and jump scares. That's pretty much the basis. Doom has jump scares.
Yes, it does.
Kind of. The original Doom doesn't really have jump scares.
They do in the sense of when you get to hell and you have the demons bamfing in right in front of you when it's empty.
But there was an audio clip that played before you were expecting it. The Doom that tried to do it for we're talking original Doom, like way back, right? The new stuff is totally different, right?
Yes.
That's fantastic. But the original Doom, when you were playing it, like you pressed the wall button, and you heard the doors open, and then you heard the creatures that had been spawned there. And then when you got to hell, you were expecting the spawns at that point in time because you had gotten the weapons, you had gotten the ammo. They laid everything out. You got your health back, you got your armor back, you got a shit ton of ammo, and you're like, okay, right around this corner is going to be where we fuck shit up.
Yes, but if you never played a game before, in defense of those people, not knowing those elements preceded a shit show, it could be kind of scary. But yes, in the traditional sense, that's not really a jump scare. But I will say this, that in Doom, you are powerful, and rip and tear. Rip and fucking tear.
Oh, yes. But give credit to where credit's due. Doom is where we learned that whenever you get life, armor, and ammo, you're going to get fucked around the next corner.
Yeah. So the first third of Half-Life is, as Laidlaw says, explicitly horror. There's a slow burn where we're introduced to characters at the most mundane through, though with teasing hints of what may be about to go wrong. And then we see their ordinary world turn upside down, made dark and broken, just like Alien or Night of the Living Dead or It. Half-Life's flashlight with its rechargeable battery are essential to its scares. You crawl through a vent, thrown through a pool of light ahead, knowing it could run out before you reach the nearest exit. You turn it off to recharge for a moment, flick it back on, light up a rearing head crab's underside. While several shooters of Half-Life copy its blend of horror and action, like the Fear series, which also successfully imitated Half-Life's Squad
Fucking
AIs.
Alma, man. Holy shit. She was scary.
Yeah, she was. It's really psychological mindfuck. Its influence was most felt in the first-person horror genre. Every game that gives you light has a limited resource, from Amnesia to Outlast. Has a tiny bit of half-life.
Dude, Amnesia. That is another game that fucks with your noggin.
So, I kind of got to say... Okay, so story is crucial to what you're doing. There's a story that you need. So...
Not always. I don't think you always need story for FPS.
I mean, I play a lot of Warzone, and there's no fucking storyline in that.
Yeah.
But think about how you could enhance a game like that with the story. I feel like you're missing something without it. But you've also played... I mean, like, could COD really be built without having any story to it? Just
Black Ops 3?
Literally... No. I mean, like, literally, just here you go, multiplayer game.
Black Ops 3?
No. Because that's Black Ops 3.
Had no single player.
No, that was actually 4.
Was it Black Ops 4? Okay, sorry.
It was 4.
Like, I don't play the Call of Duty games normally. I haven't played since Modern Warfare 2, and then I just recently picked up the new one. I have not played since then.
Yes, but that's an IP that has several games that lead it up to it. Granted, Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 pretty much had the same bloody story with different skins, if you ask me. But Black Ops had a story. Black Ops 4 still referenced the previous Black Ops games in a way. And I feel like they still had something to tell, and it added something to it. It's not perfect, and then there was still something with the getting into the camp or the multiplayer. You still had a campaignish like experience.
So wait, which Black Ops were you saying? Because I'm seeing Black Ops 3 is multiplayer only. It's got multiplayer and zombie gameplay only. There's no story at all. There's no single player campaign. There's nothing. You can't do a co-op. You can't do anything.
Really? Black Ops 3 takes place in 2065, 40 years after the events of Black Ops 2, and the world facing upheaval from conflicts, climate change, and new technologies like previous installments of Black Ops series. The campaign follows a team of Black Ops soldiers who work for Winslow Accord.
So mine is showing right here, Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360 versions feature multiplayer and zombie gameplays only, but do not include a co-op or single-player campaign game mode. The ambitious scope of the 1 to 4 player co-op campaign design of the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC versions could not be faithfully recreated on old generation hardware. So Black Ops 3 only had multiplayer, no co-op, no co-op, no single player campaign. I don't understand. Maybe it was Black Ops 4 that did it, but I always thought it was
4.
I always thought it was Black Ops 3 that fucked it all up.
No, Black Ops 4 definitely did not have. Yeah, because this has a campaign. 3 has a campaign. There is a campaign, multiplayer, and zombies. 4. Nothing. Just multiplayer. But the point that I'm getting at is it's Black Ops 4. It has a basis in a series that laid out a story and it adds something to it. If you just introduced a game and just said, here you go kill each other.
Quake, Unreal Tournament.
Yeah, PlanetSide. We could play this. Fortnite,
Shadowrun,
and so Fortnite doesn't have. It misses that element. Like it misses the development. It's just a shooting game. The same thing with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. It misses something with that element. I really think that in a true FPS, you should have a tale. Now, it doesn't need to be cutscenes, it doesn't need to be anything fancy, but you still laid something out. Now, they didn't have cutscenes in this, but there's other games that did not truly have cutscenes. They had it, you played things through. Characters said something, and it made a story in itself. One of the things that I liked about Splinter Cell was in Splinter Cell Conviction, you had the interaction in some of the cutscenes where literally, instead of interrogating a guy in a cutscene, you literally got to pick out how you were going to interrogate these people. Throw them up against the wall, break their head on the bathroom sink, slam their head into the toilet. Like, it did have traditional cutscenes where you had no control over the character, but there have been games where you literally got to move the camera around, you got to be involved in the cinematic sequence. But you don't necessarily need that. You just need a story. I really think to make
take
a game.
for instance games such as Paladins, for instance. You don't have really story. You have character cards attached to your heroes if you choose to read them. Otherwise, you're just playing a game to kill people. Same thing with, say, Overwatch. I mean, there's very little story, but
there is something there. There's a basis for the characters. The characters in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds don't have any of that.
Right. I mean, there's plenty of games that are super popular that way that don't have any story at all whatsoever. Right? Minecraft technically has an end game, but it has no story, no lore, no nothing to get to the end to kill the Ender Dragon. It has nothing. There's nothing that talks about it. There's nothing you can find. You want to talk about, we loved 7 Days to Die. I think that was G.N.A's biggest game that we've played as a group for the longest point in time in fucking history. Right? We played 7 Days to Die. That has nothing. It's a multiplayer survival game. All of these survival games, Ark and everything, don't have any type of story. However, that was John Carmack's big thing from id, right? And as you read it, because I was talking about it earlier, he actually says, right, John Carmack of id famously said stories are as irrelevant to games as they are to porn, period. And that is his stance on it, and that is how he has felt a long time. Now, Valve came along and released Half-Life. Valve meticulously went through and built the game, and the article is fantastic because you're talking about Half-Life as a game as a whole took the main character doesn't speak. There are no cutscenes in the game. There are no hidden books that you can pick up and read through at all whatsoever. You play the game first person and learn about it. And there's so much, like you're talking about the intensive scares. Well, that's because you're right. They built up the characters properly. If we keep going down the article and they call the next section's Dead Good, it talks about how it made you really get involved and sucked into the horror of Half-Life because you watched NPCs struggle and try to help each other and then just get torn apart and everything like that. And everybody was asking you for help and there was nothing you could do. And on top of that, what did Valve do that really kicked everything off? It's at the end of the article. Mods, and more mods. Here is your support. Gentlemen, have fun. And now we have so many games that have come out because they were A, Half-Life 1 mods, B, Half-Life 2 mods, or C, they were based around it. And you're still seeing, and I think the article was trying to point in the direction, indie developers today and AAA devs who are paying attention have been using the original Half-Life in the way that A, it told a story, but it told a story, as Blue was saying, that it's incredibly encompassing, and it makes shooting zombies so much more than just shooting fucking zombies.
But Doom really started that mod craze on changing the game in so many different ways.
Correct, but Doom did not officially support the mods for a while.
No, they did. They supported them right out of the gate. If you bought the game after the free release, they gave you the source code to do your mods.
Oh, you're saying free release. Doom was a paid game.
Doom Disc 1 was free. Disc 2 and 3, you had to buy.
The point is that you got to see a story unfold. They laid out a story, like what you talked about, the struggles of these NPCs. You got to see events unfold. They didn't have to do a cutscene for this, and you don't need cutscenes to tell a story. I mean, for Christ's sake, the cutscenes, I've watched them for games like Dark Souls, and they are completely useless. Completely fucking useless. You have to go find, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I found a YouTuber who explains the story of Dark Souls, and he explains it by reading the descriptions of all of the items you pick up in the game, and he takes all of that and he stitches all of this stuff together, and he tells you about the city, about the people, why they're doing it, Lothran, all this crap, and it's made through that. The booklets that we used to get in video games, it told you about the Covenant, it told you about the ants and the bugs in Jet Force Gemini, and told you, like, Battle Tank Global Assault, told you about all this different stuff that built out the story. And that's what COD 4 has. That's what Warzone has. Warzone is based in a story. COD 4 is based in a story. It may not be in the actual game, but there is still a story that's been told. And it doesn't have to be told through cutscenes or read through text. It can literally be told as you're literally just watching something unfold in front of you. You can sometimes build a connection, or you can sometimes feel like what it's, you see someone get dragged and torn apart. Like, these emotions and all these things that come along with it are what make out the story. You don't need cutscenes. You don't need the character to say anything. You don't need text. You can literally just see things happen, because that's what happens in life. You see things happen, and that tells the tale. I can make an argument that Minecraft has a story. It has your story, the world that you are creating, and the conflicts that you have to overcome, the monsters, the spiders, building up your fortress, and going out and exploring. You write your own story. That's how it is. There doesn't need to necessarily be that kind of campaign. But when you get into a game where they literally just drop you in, like PUBG, it misses something. It's just killing each other. Like, why the fuck are we here? Why are we all on a plane?
You're right. Absolutely. You are 100% right. If you were looking for actual...
It's me.
Well, yes, it is blue. But, if you were looking for an actual game that really grabs you, that you really want to play, like, we play Warzone. We play Warzone a lot. I haven't played a lot of games as much as I've played Call of Duty Warzone. What makes Warzone fun for me is playing it with Zyber. It's playing with Co. It's playing it with Vintage, right? Even though I don't care, Vintage, you rage quit way too fucking much, buddy. You really do. But it's a lot of fun playing it with the people that I'm with and going forward in it. But as far as the game itself, screw it, dude. You can name it anything that you want. I honestly don't care. There's nothing that I'm invested in. But as far as Half-Life and the way the article is written about saying, hey, 22 years later, Half-Life influence is still being felt. It absolutely is. And I like, towards the bottom of the thing where it talks about Half-Life's formula. The formula environmental storytelling spread across an impressive but collapsing testament to man's hubris would see its ultimate manifestation in BioShock. Who didn't like BioShock? You didn't like BioShock?
I'm kidding.
Oh,
I'm
dear
fucking
God.
kidding.
But I was like, okay, so BioShock. Every game that uses deaths on the other side of a door, every game that uses bodies carefully arranged on toilets or in beds to tell a story, right? That's all Half-Life. Half-Life was the first game to do it, to tell a story, to have everything set like that. That's the game. That's the formula for Half-Life. So any game that has that going forward from when Half-Life was created to today technically takes elements from Half-Life's formula, which I wish Ko was here because I know he wants to argue with me so bad. We already got a little bit into it on the Discord, but I think he was trying to go the wrong direction. But yes, storytelling elements make a zombie shooting game because let's not lie to ourselves. It's Half-Life's a zombie shooting game, period. Until you get to the aliens, and then it becomes an alien shooting game. But that's what it is. The storytelling element, and the reason it stuck with so many people, like, oh fuck, dude, I just recently, couple weeks ago, went through and beat Black Mesa, the new big mod for Half-Life 2, the remade Half-Life 1 with, some extra features and all of that. I beat Black Mesa. I've beat Half-Life several times. I wasn't a huge fan of the Half-Life Source because it felt spotty to me, but I got it for free, so I've played through it. It's good. You're right. If you want storyline, then you're going to go look back to Half-Life. And if you're a developer in this day and age, or you're a developer that came after Half-Life was made, well, guess what? All those influences from those games that you've been playing or looking at, they came from Half-Life for the most part. It's gone past FPS games. The article kicked off talking about a third-party game where it's a it's a low-poly 3D survival horror that is trying to build everything off of its environmental experience to tell the story, which, guess what, was pioneered by Valve with Half-Life. So yes, Blue, I completely agree. A story is absolutely required for making a game truly, truly enjoyable and like really momentous. But you don't need the story if you're just playing shitty games like, and I don't mean shitty like as in they're bad games, but shitty games like Minecraft or Warzone or anything like that.
All right.
I mean, it's all about, with those games to me, fun with friends. That's all it needs to be. You don't need a story to have fun with friends.
No.
You got friends?
No, but I
We got
need a
friends?
story. But I need a story for a game that I'm going to sit down and I'm going to play and I'm going to enjoy from very beginning to very end of the game. I need a story, and it cannot be. I don't do cutscene stories. I don't like cutscene games. I really do like how a game is told environmentally. We've been playing Pathfinder Kingmakers, Ibra. A lot of that, yes, there's a lot of talk in that, right? And they have quote unquote cutscenes, but you have to make choices, and it's based on your character stats because you can fail checks and it changes the way the story goes and all of that. And it's a lot of fun. But a lot of that, if there was no deep, really entrenched story and told very well environmentally, right? Because you're like, oh, fuck, what part do I go to on this? Well, I remember the book saying this part, Yeah,
Right, but with
great.
Kingmaker, you can divert so easily from the main storyline that you change the outcome entirely.
Yes, but I mean that's the point. It is Pathfinder, legitimately licensed,
Right.
I think, by Pathfinder or sorry, Paizo, because Paizo makes Pathfinder, right? Because Wizard of the Coast makes D&D. Yes, you can deviate incredibly far in that game and still have a wonderful time and change the outcome of the game. But again, the deep storyline is there, and if you try and venture too far off the main course of the
Right.
storyline before you get the DLCs, you're going to fail the main quest because there is a time allotment
Yep.
to solve
That's
the
what
main
I was about
quest.
to say. Yeah, that time allotment gets you.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end. Yes, I know. You're sad. We're kind of sad too. But don't worry. We'll be back. But in the meantime, you can reach out to Zyberblood at... Where can they find you, bud?
Well, you can find me on the G.N.A Discord, Facebook, Twitter, as well as my Facebook, my Twitter, and my Instagram at Zyberblood. That's ZYBERBLOOD.
And Damok, where can they find you, my good sir?
I exclusively troll the G.N.A podcast as the ultimate shit talker pinned to the top. Come challenge me. We'll see what you can do.
And ladies and gentlemen, I'm Blue Shark 45, and you're probably wondering, why the fuck do they let this guy run the show? Like, what the fuck's going on? Like, he doesn't even say anything half the time in the Discord. Like, where is he? He's missing. Like, he doesn't tweet. He doesn't do any of this shit. Like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Hashtag
correct.
almost married.
You would be correct, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have a lot of free time. I spend a lot of my time doing other things. But when I'm not, and when you at me, I can get back to you. And you can at me in our G.N.A Discord. You can also find me in 3-Player Co-op's Discord, playing fantasy football and crossing my fingers, hoping no one takes a knee. Really hoping for that.
You can also find him on his fans only.
You can also find me on Parler and Twitter as BlueShark45. And ladies and gentlemen, you can also find me on this show every now and then. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end, as I've mentioned before. But fret not, for I hear that we have something. We have a webpage. And you can go and find us on that webpage at
www.onlyfans.com/GNA podcast. Exclusive photos, videos, and other things. But don't really go there because it's like GNApodcast.com unless you want to see like Damok's wiener stuff. You know, it's cool.
Or you want to see, 4 cast members in a hot tub, go to our webpage. Hashtag
You
Massanutton.
You can see that, folks. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for listening. And gentlemen, thank you all for joining in on the show. You all have a lovely evening.
Oh,
You as well,
too.
brother.
Who wants to play some fucking Warzone, yeah?
We hope you enjoyed the show. G.N.A, Games, Nerds, and Alcohol. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Reviews help people find the show, so if you enjoy listening to us, let other people know. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play Music, Podcast Addict, Player FM, Stitcher, Spreaker, MyTuner, Your Listen, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and a whole bunch of other places. If we aren't someplace, let us know. We'll upload there.
You can also follow us on Twitter or Facebook by searching at G.N.A Podcast. You can also join our Discord chat. Just see the pinned tweet.
We do a game show night every first Saturday of every month on Mixer at www.mixer.com/GNA podcast.
And join us every second Saturday of the month for Horror Movie Night, hosted by Zyberblood.
We want to thank Morgan BS Photography for our artwork and logo. Check him out at morganbs.com.
And please email us at GNApodcast@GNAinyourdNA.1 with all your questions, comments, or death threats. We would love to hear from you. And last but not least, please be sure to check out our website at www.GNApodcast.com.
Oh, I'm gonna eat ice cream. Fuck you guys. And like, I cannot play video games. So I have ice cream time.